8th anniversary. Did we have church this morning? Or I just wrote this message or finished it in the office 10 minutes ago. It's going to be a little deeper than this morning. But I think there's a dance. We danced this morning even with preaching about sin. I thank God he was wounded for my transgressions. He was bruised for my iniquities. The chastisement of my peace was laid upon him. Can y'all finish it or y'all just look around? And by his stripes I am healed. Grandma would say we are healed by the wounds. Come on, this is the country in his side. We're healed by the wounds in my Savior's side. I want us to thank God for the leaders of this church. The leaders of this church. The leaders of this church. Thank God, thank you for Paul and Bradley, the pastors of this assembly. We love them with all of our hearts. Will y'all clap and thank God one more time for them? I call them peanut butter and jelly, PB Coppin. Because peanut butter tastes better with jelly.
All right.
Yeah, so I love them. Love them so much. Thank God that my personal executive assistant came all the way by way of Jacksonville, North Carolina, coming from Atlanta, somewhere in Jonesboro or wherever they were at, Douglasville or some part of town, to celebrate one of his sons, who's a bishop at a bishop ball, doing a line dance. And my second delegation of the Shabbat family came all the way from Georgia, drove with their wives to be a part of this service tonight. The Honorable Apostle Keith Perry staff. Come on, all of the higher ground delegation. We're fastly moving in the holy convocation, so pray for us. We're fastly approaching it, and I thank God. Anyone that's a licensed, duly licensed preacher, that means somebody you sat under gave you a paper. If you're present, stand. Minister, elder, prophet, apostle, bishop, overseer, please stand so we can see you. And can we clap and honor all of these leaders? Now come on, make them feel good around you. Make them feel good around you. Make them feel good around you. You never know who you're going to need. Last but not least, hopefully you all will get happy. We thank God for Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Clarissa, I see you. You snuck in, but I see you. Y'all be seated. If you don't mind, can I get 15 of you to talk to me while I'm reading and teaching?
We got
you. No, don't say yes, then I don't hear nothing now.
Right. Yes, sir.
Because this morning there were a few people lying, they didn't talk. So if you're part of the 20-member delegation to encourage me as I teach, wave at me so the Lord can bless you. Real good. Thank you. I really want the Lord to bless you. Do you mind that I don't prophesy first? Some junkies in here who want prophecy. Prophecy is not medicinal.
Take your time,
whatever you can't find often, don't try to get it all at once. Good to you may not be good for you. Get your Bibles. came on. We had people this morning who drove 3.5 hours from watching us on YouTube and drove all the way to have church and enjoyed themselves. We had people, I don't know how far is my city, how far is Orlando? Oh no, we had people drove 6 hours. Y'all clap for all of these people that are driven. No, come on, that's a long drive. That's a long drive. When my bishop was alive, I drove 17 hours to go in and pray. And had to go back to work, so I had to take a day off just to get back. It don't bother me because I got his oil. A lot of people want their own anointing. I rather strike it from who I follow. If you want oil and want your own, you know how long you got to dig and get the rights to dig and how long you got to wait to tap in. Sometimes it's best to just find somebody oil. Do I have my 20 talkers?
Yes, sir.
Because some of y'all ain't following oil, you're following grease. But I'll leave that. They both have a slippery substance, but one of them has no substance in it.
Take your time.
Fried chicken, that's about it.
I'm weak.
John chapter 4. I got 2 helpers is in the back. Lord, bless them with new cars or homes, whatever they have. And the rest of the 18, just let them work. John chapter number 4. You don't have to stand. All you got to do is understand and talk to me.
Take your time.
Let me open up with something that I've been saying everywhere that I tried not to say this morning, but I can't get away from it. And see if 20 people understand, because I'm going to be saying it all over the world for the next year. If we preach it wrong, you can't live it right.
Yes, Lord.
If we, talking to the preacher, don't act like you don't know who you are now. If we preach it wrong, you can't live it right. Second thing I want to say, and hoping I get my 20 people, if it's not a good text, you will not pass a bad test.
Yes, Lord.
The text, when preached correctly, helps the listener pass the test.
You preach it already.
So most of you are failing because of malpractice preaching. They don't study, they steal. They're YouTube thieves, social media bloggers, because they don't study. The Bible does say, and I quote, stop people to prove to yourself. All you preachers, I want you to talk more, but the truth is, I didn't say it this morning because God said not to, but tonight, obviously, He's telling me to say it because some of you don't study. If you don't have a library full of commentary books and you're a pastor, you need to quit and start over. Then I'm going to blame some of us, not you directly, for licensing people because we like them who didn't study. Whoever your assistant is should know the Bible almost as well as you because they assist you. I don't hear. And if you got a blunder as an assistant, y'all ain't talking to me, it's because they don't respect what you preach. I'm sorry that y'all don't like to open it.
Come on, brother.
But I'm waiting to understand God.
Right.
And that some of you think that you are exempt from rebuke. This is all Bible. It's better than secret law. And some of you, because you didn't rebuke them, you release monsters to the kingdom of God.
Come on, prophet. Well, monster release.
The Lord revealed to me, and I've said this already about 20 times in the past 4 months.
All right.
That next year, you can write it if you want to, he's going to start killing preachers who preach knowing that they have not studied, with the lives of the people in their hands. If the people perish, not the pastor, the people perish for the lack of knowledge, then that means the leader's not doing his job. So God said, I have to erase illegal voices.
My Lord.
Talking.
All right, let me say this also. Y'all gonna push me or y'all gonna look at me? Let me tell you how people get food poisoning.
Come on with it.
Not food contamination.
Talk.
Like someone wanting to kill you
Right.
from poisoning your food. They use an ingredient called cyanide. If I say this and 5 of you jump, I'm happy that my people stand, but I want all you to catch it. They put something in the food that does not have a scent. So you're eating the seasoning and the cyanide, or y'all at the same time. Then once it's in you, a good thing turns bad. Because the person up front had all intentions to kill, not to bring life. Now Jesus said, I come. I wish I had. Some of you are talking because you're slipping the cyanide in the people's lives you don't like. He said, I choose preachers after my own heart, not after feelings. If you got feelings and this gets personal, you need to stop for a little while and reevaluate. So you don't die next year.
Wow.
It's going to happen. If anyone knows about my prophetic, you can bank on
Bank
this.
on it. Bank on it. Bank on it.
So I often, for those who know me, meditate on my sermons all week, every day, read 2 hours and 40 minutes minimum every day.
Yep.
But I never complete a sermon till I get in the office. They ask me, do you do this all the time? I say, oh yeah, I get my iPad. I may say hello, then I go back to it, because you don't know that God's not finished when you finish. I don't hear nobody, because based upon who walks in, determines whether he has something else to say. You can cook meal for you and your 3 kids, but if guests come in, you got to go back in the fridge. I don't hear nobody and be like, let me whip up something fast, because I can't have them wait. So don't ever think it stops with your intellect. If God can't cut in on what you study, you are not called.
Preach, Pop.
Y'all gonna talk to me, brothers and sisters? Well, it just hit me. Who's Palmer? Last name? She's at. What's her name?
Her real name, we call her Pointer.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What's your name? And what's your name? Rayshawn King. And your name what? And her name what?
Nita Palmer.
I don't know who I'm talking about, so if you help me, I can tell you something. Is she married?
Yes.
Who's she married to?
Calvin.
Where's he?
He's a truck driver.
Okay, then that's what I'm looking for, because the Lord said I was to tell her that God is stopping a 3-truck collision. Darker skin back.
Yes, sir.
One of them was like born in December. But the Lord said he has to stop this because this will be a terrible. And tell her, Bishop just said your husband's life is being spared from a 3-truck accident. And we'll go forward. So I'm going to do my best to delicately preach this text because I'm not trying to be on the list next year. For that reason, all of my sermons have changed in a different way. The style has changed a little bit. It's catching up with my age.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And I feel good. Please do not look at how I'm dressed. The pastor dressed me tonight. I didn't have casual clothes, and he didn't want me to look like a preacher no more. So he went to the store. So I'm going to preach in this. Because he thought, because I came the last time, I was caught up with African guards. But I did that because it was hot. Then he comes in with a suit.
You fresh.
And some Van sneakers. John chapter 4, my 20 members. Please be seated as I read. I don't want us to do the normal thing. The story, let me give you the backdrop because I really want to preach this if I can get some help. The backdrop is about a story that you're very familiar with, but never will you have heard it like I'm going to preach it, I promise. The story for my 20 members is about the woman at the well.
Yes, Lord.
I'm already giving you who I'm going to be talking about.
All right.
As a matter of fact, I'm just going to read because the first 3 rows are bothering me now, so I got to preach from row 4 back. John chapter 4, verse 4 is where I begin reading. It's lengthy, but please, somebody encourage me to please go through Samaria.
Yes, Lord.
See, I could preach that and do what young people do. Just get a verse and get something nice to say and help you instead of help you. But I will say this, that the town of Samaria is a place where Jews avoided going.
Yeah.
See, I don't have time. You don't think I'm preaching because I don't have on my preacher's voice. It is a place, most folk who talk like that can't preach, but it is a place. So they woo you with their tone because they have no information. The Jews were raised to avoid going through a certain region, especially with Samaria. But here is the scripture stating Jesus has to go through that. First thing you can shout off of, and I could, but I have to teach, but my 10 out of 20 amen, is you wouldn't be saved if Jesus heard what people said about you. See, it is the view of other people. And these folk are saved telling God, don't go there.
Take your time.
When I'm quiet is when you talk.
Yeah. All right, sir.
But Jesus says today, the reason I'm preaching this, is some of you are about to get blessed beyond all odds. He says, I'm coming whether they like you. All right, if I'm talking to you, talk back. The other concern for my 10-member church is when he comes, don't you make him look like what people say. Now, some of you ain't going to say amen because you're not good with making others look good. But you're excellent at making people look bad. He must needs help you with your kids. I'm gonna bore you like this. He must needs get you a better job. If you don't answer, he won't do it. He must needs make sure you're in a happy marriage, not one just for the kids' sake. He must needs get you 6 figures even if you don't graduate with a college. But the flip side to that is, what does he get after he supplies your needs? Lord, I'll live right. Living right is your reasonable service. I can't get church. Romans 12:1, I beseech you. Don't get preaching. Therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that he presents your body as a living sacrifice. Holy. Come on, you know, unacceptable unto God, but you don't get brownie points for this. This is your. If the Holy Ghost filled, you should be holy. This ain't like something you gotta work on. You don't get a better marriage because you live in holy. There are people who have lived right that are stuck in some wrong things. Because rookies tell you, if you live right, God will bless you. Y'all got to stop lying on God. He said, good things come to those who wait. Holiness is not what rushes it. Waiting prepares you for it. There are saved people married to saved people and it didn't work. So being saved does not do it. Look at some of y'all looking wrong because you just found out if it was next year you would have died because you preached it wrong. Because your little marriage working don't mean everybody else gonna work, and you ain't telling the truth about how many times you were dissatisfied. You ain't even telling the truth. You ain't that happy, you just ain't got nobody to really start over with. You're too old, you don't have the same vibrancy, lost some teeth, gained some weight. You better stay where you are for now. Whoever loved you through that, you should stay. They love you in your best days and in your days of deterioration because we're all born to die. I'm glad that God does not play by the rules of people. Or some of us, I'm going to preach, would have missed the visitation. Verse 5, you see them push me and talk to me. Then cometh he to the city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Verse 6. Now Jacob's well was there. Jesus, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well. It was about the 6th hour or 12 noon. It was, for my talking church, lunchtime. If I was to preach this and get fancy for my 3 preachers and 3 lay people who will scream, I would preach a lunch break. Because the Lord won't stop your job. But you should give him a break. Because if he talks to you in between jobs, you might qualify to quit. You see how quiet it got? Some of you are working hard because you've made no time for God. Some of you just shaking heads trying to steal new sermons, but you ain't talking. Don't be on the list for next year, I'm telling you. I bet Egypt thought Moses was playing when he said the death angel was coming. Don't take this lightly.
Yes, sir.
Verse 7. Then cometh the woman of Samaria to draw water.
Yeah.
Jesus saith unto her, give me to drink. Verse 8. For his disciples were gone away into the city to buy meat. Can I pause again and say a few things? I keep talking this out. I'm going to come here in a minute and y'all talk to me. There's one of my good friends over here. But let me say this from the last two verses I read, and one person jumped because you're young and be happy. When the Lord gets ready to really talk to you, he's going to send a few folk away. Because most folk want to hear what he has to say with the intention to help you not hear what he's trying to say. Most people never listen with the intention to learn. They listen with an already premeditated response. Because they think you're going to throw off when they don't know you love them more than they love you. The issue is most folk in church are not good listeners. It's in every conversation. Am I helping five? I can't tell, but I'm going to keep on. Verse 9. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou being a Jew, see here's the story, ask drink of me, which is a woman of Samaria, for the Jews, I wish I had a church, have no dealing. Let me talk when he's preached correctly. The Samaritans didn't have a problem with the Jews. The Jews had a problem with the Samaritans. There are some people that have a problem with you, and you don't even know them well enough to have a problem. I just don't like him. Why? Something about him. No, you're a fool. A fool comes out with a conclusion with no substance. How do you just meet somebody and be so deep, my spirit don't agree? Who are you, the Holy Ghost? So what about when a lot of people don't like you? Who has the demon, you or them? Of course you gonna say them. In this particular passage of scripture, it does not say, please don't change the Bible, pastors and bishops, talk to me while I'm teaching you. It does not say the Jews or that the Samaritans have no dealings with the Jews. It says specifically the Jews, I don't hear nobody, have no dealings. And when you're a leader, you must deal with folk that others don't deal with. And you don't let people contaminate your spirit about other people, because maybe you're the drink of water they need to be cured. Most people I stay away from in the world, and nothing hurts me, they can't move me, are people who always talk negative of others. You know why? For talkers, I used to be one of them people. Everybody said don't deal with it. Now everyone that's dogged me, I have surpassed them. I still have no problem with them, but we ain't gonna never be close.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
You have to be careful after your meeting with Jesus who you meet. All right, I didn't hear nobody. Because Satan don't come after you until you've had a thorough meeting with God. Then he brings things into your life that makes you start questioning whether God ever spoke to you. So you have to protect yourself after the meeting.
After the meeting.
The detriment, I wish I had more verbal participation. The detriment here for two people who talk to me is most of us, and I'm including myself, have been hurt only because we try to give people chances that give us no chance. And because you have a heart of God, no matter how temperamental you are, you give people a third, fourth, fifth, sixth chance. Even after you say I'm done, you still find yourself doing. Yelling time. That is because you have a heart after God. But God has never created any of you to be a fool. After the meeting, when God fully speaks to you, you have to protect the conversation by being careful who you meet after. Everything, every evil, wicked, dirty spirit is drawn to who talks to God. If God is attracted to you, every demon in hell wants to be attracted to you. And when they're attracted, it is your job for a screamer that what you attract, whether it attaches. That ain't God's job. I mean, hug and embrace everybody, but I don't let them attach. When I'm quiet, let me go back to verse 9. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that you, see, being a Jew, asketh drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews, not the Samaritans, preachers ain't talking, have no dealings with the Samaritans. Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God. Come on, let's love the Bible. And who it is that saith to thee, give me a drink, you would be asking me to give you one. And if I gave you water, y'all reading it? It will give thee living water. Which means certain people were drinking water that consistently was contaminated, or that they wouldn't drink it all because of who was giving it. So they were dehydrated because of personal disinterest.
What? You preaching?
See, I only have scholars talking, all the middle section quiet. Let me make it hood talk. If a woman in here got hurt by a man and said, I hate his guts, why do you still take his money? Now, is that hood enough? If we ain't got no dealing,
That's good.
why your hands still out? If I'm contaminated, my money's contaminated. There are some people, unfortunately, in the church. I need louder talkers who want what you have but don't want you. I love you preaching, I just don't like you. She wearing that dress, but I can't stand her. How do you compliment and destroy at the same time? Am I boring you? I got some folk in the back standing now. Because I had to get a little hood, but I was trying to stay stay completely above board, but y'all act like none of this has anything to do with you.
That's good news.
Verse 10, Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God, who it is, said unto thee, give me to drink, thou would have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. Verse 11, 5 of y'all look so dull. Why don't you go back home, relax, watch the game, let me know what the Cowboys score is going to be after 8:20. Why don't you go help us do something?
They probably don't lose. They're going to do that. They're going to do that.
Like right now, because I'm a fan, I don't want no dealings with the service. I need this church to be as exciting as a game. If you tell folks stay away from people who can do something for them, you better have more to do for them when you tell people to stay away. Verse 11, the woman said, Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep.
Yes, sir.
This verse I could preach also, so I'm giving you tidbits to see how deep I can go. But let me see if 30 folk will scream on this. Stop hanging out with people that's not deep enough to get what you need. Some of these folk with opinions have nothing else but opinions. They have nothing to draw with.
Nothing to draw with.
Not to draw a conclusion, not to draw. You need relationships that go deeper than disagreement. Because the church is divided because of personal disagreements. And let me say this for one screamer, whoever you are. If it don't work down here, we ain't going up there because they got a business term. Learn to disagree agreeably. You have your opinion, I have mine. I said I don't like fish, you like it, I don't want to taste it. Now let's eat. Don't try to make me eat what you eat. Let's enjoy the fellowship. Are you allergic? No, I just don't like fish. Good for you. Stop preaching. Let's eat. Food getting cold while we disagree. Like I fully, don't nobody take this personal, this is personal opinion, believe that when a man gets a certain age, skinny jeans he should never wear. Ever. That's not a good example for your sons. That's not a good example for your job. But y'all bring it to church. Don't wear to church what you won't wear to a job or to a funeral. Nobody want to see no grown man's tight buttocks and all that. That's not salvation. And some of you laughing, and that's where we would disagree, because I can barely talk to you if I can't look at you. When I grew up, there was a such thing called church clothes. And your parents said, take off your school clothes. And if the pants were tight, how do grown men feel comfortable having to squeeze into clothes? That's not the DNA of grown men. You'll see why I brought it up in about 20 minutes. You can wear what you want to wear. We can disagree agreeably. But don't try to make me wear them. I'm telling you, it's the style.
Right! Right!
It's not a style for a successful, older, saved man. It's a misrepresentation. Got quiet. Everybody upset over some jeans. We all set of hands. 11, Apostle Kerry. The woman said unto him, Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From wherein hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? This verse says, only got 6 more. I told you it's a long read. Then I'm going to fly the kite. It's a long read. But I want you to talk while you're hearing it.